Oops. Helps if I'm not on mute. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts. Happy to be here. Let me make sure. Am I live? Let's find out. Let's find out. Yes, I'm live. Yay. I always like it when it works the way it's supposed to. And I should be able to see comments. I know Tanya is just finishing. I hope you guys have enjoyed so far. I wanted to start on time. I'm lucky enough to have an hour and a half today. But we'll see whether or not that was too much time, or I don't think it's going to be not enough time. So let's hope that I can get this done. This is a little bit more of an in-depth project, so I asked for a little bit more time. So we'll see how that works. Okay, I'm going to switch my camera view so you guys can just see all of my desktop. Hello, Tina. How are you? Okay, so today we are making this cute little, hey Myrna, this cute little Twilight Manor accordion. We're calling it, I think, a memory keeper. I think that's how it's listed on my website, but you can call it a memory keeper. You can call it a junk journal. You can call it whatever you want. It's a whole lot of fun. If you're a Halloween person, then, it's all the things. So for folks who got the kit, you got all of your design elements, which you can even see the whole stack of stuff that I have cut out over here. Those need to go over there. You have got some ribbon. You got some brads and other little kinds of doodads. So we're going to try to use all of that today. It is so cute. I love it so much. And then I'm also hopefully going to have time to show you all how to incorporate some chalk couture elements or essential stencil or other kinds of stencil elements into this, and then also show you all a couple of other things. So we're gonna see if time is going to be my friend. I'm gonna set myself a timer just so I am paying attention. I do have giveaways today, so I'm going to be giving away one of the kits. I'm going to be giving away some Halloween bookmarks. Let me grab these real quick and kind of show you what they look like. Do I have both of them in here? Yep, I do. So in one of our other little kits that I'll show you all later, it's called Moody Manor. I've been printing out just the pages that have these and turning them into bookmarks. Now on my other ones, I have colored in this little white circle, used my larger hole punch, put an eyelet there, put a brad there, something like that, so you can't quite see that. But there's several different elements like this, so I'll be giving away a set of these, and then also another mystery box. And so, as usual, we'll pull from the comments. So comment away, and I will do my little wheel of names later this evening. And I do have to apologize to the people who won last month, because I was gone more in August than I was home, and it got a little crazy, and everything was very delayed in getting shipped out. So I apologize. So we'll be better this time. I know, Kay, I was so excited about that. I was looking at those little elements because I think they're just too cute. And I was like, what in the world could I do with these? Give me something to do with these. And I was like, oh, I bet those would look cute like that. So I printed them out. And I've also printed them out and shrunk them down into other little pieces to use on other things. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our album cover. So in your kit, you have a page that has this. I did not print. Let me grab. I always like to show what the pages of the kit look like. So if you're following along with me after I've cut everything up, you kind of know what we're looking at. So in the kit itself, your covers look like this. So you've got the first page of the kit is your front cover, and the second page is your back cover. So this is what we're working with right now. And then the third page of your kit is this inside cover right here. Okay, put that off to the side in case I need it again. So I've cut everything out already. And what we're going to do is we are going to put the inside cover. Well, actually, we're going to put this together first, and then we put the inside cover on. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're fine. And you all will be very proud of me. I have inked everything already for the most part, except for this, because I didn't want to ink it before I put the cover on. So you've got, this is the front, which is this right here. And then this side is the back, which is this right here. And then these are pieces are what fold in to make this little flap, just for like a frame of reference. Because I remember the first time I did one of these, I was like, what in the world are we doing? And then I was looking at the finished product. I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. Hello, everybody. Hi, Joanna, Krista, Laura. Hi, everybody. How are you? How is your Saturday going? Have you been watching since we started? Have you been having a good day? Y'all, I'm over summer. I'm sorry. I know that some of you probably are not. But it has not rained in 8 weeks here in central Illinois. And it is hot, and it's messing with my sinuses and my allergies, and I'm over it. I'm just over it. I'm ready. Can you tell I'm ready for fall? I'm making haunted houses. Come on now. So I like to take my bone folder and score everything. I actually have a scoring tool. I probably should have pulled that out. I bought it because I have been doing so many of these kits that I was like, oh, a scoring board would be so nice. I forgot to pull it out. Yeah, I'm done with 90-degree days. Although I think I saw that we're all going to New England at some point. Is that the plan? I was watching along. I was like, oh, I'm up for that. I'm up for that. Watching on our RV heading home to Ohio from Colorado. Oh, I do love Colorado. Particularly Boulder. All right, where do I have ink that I'm getting ink on stuff already? On my fingers, probably. I do like Boulder. Okay, I'm getting ink from something. Oh, I bet it's this. All right, let me move that. Okay, getting ink from something somewhere. All right, and then I like to fold everything down before I glue it, because I feel like once it's glued, it gets a little. Oh, I can't imagine I can't imagine in Florida right now, Myrna. I really can't. And we really do like Florida. Like that's our vacation happy place. But I can't. Oh no. But I feel like once things get glued, then they get a little less flexible. And so if you've got those folds started before you glue stuff down, I feel like it's a little bit easier to then fold it after the fact, if that makes sense. Hi, Nancy. Thank you so much. Oh, local cider mill open today, so it must be fall. Yeah, I think so. We have an Amish community about an hour from here in a little town called Arthur. And they run a pumpkin patch every year. And, you can do hay rides, and they have the most amazing bakery, as you might imagine. And I think that they either are open or they open next week. Which also means I really need to look at the calendar and sit down and find a day to go out there, because they make the most amazing pumpkin cookies with the cream cheese frosting. My sister and one of my nieces came up last year, and we went out to the pumpkin patch, and that's where I got all my gourds, and I got a couple of mums. I'd like to get out there. I'm just not sure when. Okay, we're just folding and folding. And folding. Okay, so everything is folded. So now we're going to attach. So this side here, that's tab A, goes to this tab right here. And so we are just going to use my glue stick. I like this Tombow mono glue stick. So on my website, which is girlfridaycrafts.com, up at the top tab, there's a tab for Paper Craft Socials, which is where all of the kits and everything are. And about midway down the page, there is a link to product recommendations. That is up too high. So I have my favorite glue, my sort of favorite fussy cut scissors, all of that kind of stuff. So if you want to check out any of the, why am I not getting that lined up right? Any of the products that I use to do that, you can go to that page and just look for those recommendations. If you bought the kit, you should have a QR code on something, on a paper that came with your kit, that'll take you to that page too. It is very clever, and I wish I could take credit for the design, but I absolutely can't. Oh, did I just hit the camera? I have a new camera set up, and I like it, but it's a little too close, and I can't do anything about that. It won't like push back any farther unless I move the whole thing. And so, yeah, I tend to hit the camera sometimes. All right. So, yep. Okay. So now we are going to glue down these tabs. So these tabs are just here for reinforcement. So you glue those down, glue all the tabs down before you put the inside cover on, because you don't want these to be visible. They're just kind of there to help keep everything together. And so we're going to use my glue stick. Just going to do that. And that. We're not going to glue this yet. Even sometimes when I've scored things. Do that. Now, you want to get these tabs down before you do your little fold. So we're going to go along here. Okay, let's see. So I have my list of stuff that I wanted to make sure to tell you all. So up after me is Craft Fancy. They'll be back again at 1:45. I did just yesterday get my order from the SPOOKTACULAR holiday release. So I'm going to do a live unboxing of that on Wednesday in my Facebook VIP group. So for those of you who are already in that group, know that that unboxing is coming. If you are not in that group, but you would like to see the unboxing, just send me a message and I'll send you a link to join the group. And if you want to pop into the group just to see the unboxing and not stay, I get it. That's totally fine. We're all in a ridiculous amount of Facebook groups. It's hard to stay on top of everything. But I would love to have you stay and hang out. I go live in the group once a week. Share some specials and freebies in the group. I do live sales in the group. There are a couple of other creatives in the group that share in some of their content. And I welcome that because I like to make sure that folks in the group have access to all kinds of things. I don't think I scored that. So I'm going to bend that down. So yeah, so if you're interested in seeing that unboxing, just send me a message. Things are selling out from the holiday release, and I always have to check this. Yep, that's right. Okay. Things are selling out from the holiday release, and they are not going to get restocked. So if you have been on the Chalk site and you see something from that release that you like, I do encourage you to go ahead and grab it. By the time they restock holiday stuff, by the time they order everything and it goes through production and gets to them, you know, people have kind of moved on. So they're kind of going back to, you know, once it's gone for seasonal stuff, which I think makes sense. And then I think it's next week, actually, the 23rd is the Peanuts holiday. So there is more Peanuts coming. Very excited about. So we're going to fold that like that. Yep. Okay. And again, this is some of this extra paper and folding is just for reinforcement. With the kit, you would have gotten a QR code to a video tutorial for this. And some of you got written instructions. Some of you didn't because I forgot to put them in there. So I'm just going to email the written instructions to everybody who ordered the kit when I'm done today. I was sitting there thinking about it this morning going, hold on a minute. And then I have written instructions now for Clarabelle for our Highland cow that we did last month. So those of you that ordered her, I'm going to email you all the written instructions for that too. And we are working on written instructions for all of the various kits. So those are coming. Okay, so this is what this looks like all put together. And yeah, it's a good thing I asked for an hour and a half because that took me 20 minutes. There's a lot of moving pieces with these accordion albums. They are simple once you kind of get the gist. But the first time through, it's kind of like, wait, what am I doing? Okay, so the other thing we're going to do, and this is going to look a little weird, but there is some reasoning behind it. So I have like a stack of paper left from when I cut all this out. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take a few pieces of this and we're going to glue them to the back of these peaks on the house. And the reason for that is just to add a little stabilization. Yes, we're putting the inside cover on there, but if this journal actually gets used, these little peaks are going to get kind of flimsy. And so if you put just a little extra paper on them, then you get a little more, makes them a little more stable. And it, you know, just kind of uses up some of your extra paper. And we're going to trim this up anyway once we put the inside cover on. So if you have some of this that sticks out from that top part of that little peak, you'll be able to trim that off. And just this little piece right here. So I did something similar. So this is our sweater weather. It's actually a bound album, but we've got this part that sticks up, and I did this on this one where there's like paper in between the paper, and it just makes that part much more stable. It was very flimsy when it was just the one layer. So that's what we're doing here too. Do this. One of the things too, for those of you who, have some of these kits, if there is, a type of the folder, the tag, a pocket, something like that in the kit that you really like, I encourage you, some of you probably already thought about this, but make sure before you put the kit together that you get just a piece of good cardstock. And when I say good, I mean heavy duty. And take whatever element you have from the kit and make yourself a little template out of it so that you can create those kinds of pockets or folders or tags out of any sort of paper that you want. Because, the punches don't always come in the size. Yes, sweater weather is very cute. I'm hoping to show you all a little bit more of that before it's over. But look at the little doggies in the window. So that's another element like this one, like this Twilight Manor where we have the little window peaks. Okay, so the next step is to put in this inside cover. And so it just lays over the top like this, and then you trim it out, which, okay, that's not like the easiest thing in the world with these little window peaks, not gonna lie. But it does give you some pretty paper here on the inside. And we are just gonna cover this in my glue stick. I think I'm gonna need to turn my fan off. Because we got stuff drying up here. Ooh, that didn't stay. Come back, little piece of paper. The other thing I was thinking about last night as I was cutting this out that I will try the next time we do one of these kits is for me to prep ahead of time versions of these in various finished stages so that I can show you how to put a part of it together and then kind of move on to the next phase. I have everything cut out this time. But for example, if I had a cover with the inside cover cut out already, that was ready to then move on to the next stage, you all wouldn't have to sit here and watch me cut this out. So I apologize. It's actually not that bad until we get right up here. So then you're just going to take, and you can trim this inside cover down a little bit more before you put it on. I don't, because my tendency is to end up with less paper than I need. So I have found that I do better. It works out better if I just, hey, Laura, hey, Lydia. I know, aren't those puppies just so cute? So that kit is available on my website. And the inside elements on that one are just super adorable. And it's got like the 2 different kinds of pages with the truck pages and the it's got like a little signature that's just like half size pages in there. And one of the things that I love about the way Serena designs these kits is that there are so many embellishments in it that invariably you are going to have things left over that you can use for cards, you can use for other junk journaling or scrapbooking. She adds a lot to it so that people have a lot of options. And then you just have stuff left over that you can do all kinds of things with. And so that's one of the things I love about it. We're also going to have to touch up my glue here a little bit. I think having my fan on was making my glue stick dry a little bit. And these are cutter bee. These little cutter bee scissors. These are without a doubt my favorite fussy cut scissors. I learned really quickly with these kits that regular scissors were not going to cut it because the handles just get in the way too much. And so I messed around with a couple of different brands and sizes, and these landed perfect. Love kits with leftovers. Yep, absolutely. You can do all kinds of coordinating elements if you've got those leftover pieces. And that is something that I am working on as I learn a little bit more about how to make digital products, is how to make coordinating pieces for these kits as well, that I would include with the purchase. Oh, and you all, I did it. I don't know how many of you saw it, but last month we talked about I put it out there that I was launching a membership for these kits, and I did it. It launched. And it was that whole, I'm not completely ready, but if I wait till I'm completely ready, it is not going to happen. Yes, you can make tags with the leftovers. Absolutely. There's actually one thing I want to show you too, that you can do with some of these leftover pieces. Again, some of you probably already thought about this and do this regularly, but if you take some of these leftover pieces, especially of just like the pattern paper, and take your hole punch to it, and then keep the hole punch remnants, you can use those little remnants for like shaker cards. So I was working on sweater weather yesterday, and I started a little bag. What did I do with the bag? Oh, that's not it. Here it is. So as I was punching holes in things, I was dumping out the hole punch and just started putting all the little pieces from the hole punch into this little bag. And I'm going to save that for shaker cards. Thank you, Laura Lee. I know, it's so cute. I love it. I mean, I love Halloween. I honestly don't know between Halloween and Christmas which is truly my favorite. And so, anything like this, just I'm always going to get a kick out of. We have another Halloween one that's out now. And actually, if I had it in time to show you all in August, I probably would have went with that one for this month. But I didn't have it quite in time, and I'd already shown you this one. It's called Witch's Brew, and it's actually shaped like a cauldron. and you punch holes in it and put it together with like binder rings. So that's just the promo picture. I have the actual kit. I'm working on putting mine together. So if we have time, I'll show you the actual kit. Love that it looks like the Addams Family house. I know, right? Okay, so our inside, great tip with the punch hole. You know, I didn't even think about that either. And I was watching Serena when she did in the tutorial, our tutorial video for sweater weather? I can't remember. But I was watching that and I was like, oh my God, that is like an amazing idea. Yes, let's do that all the time. Okay, so now we're gonna bend it all up and now it's gone. Now I'm a little off. No, it's supposed to be off. So we're the front and the back is supposed to be a little off. And then obviously what I would do would be to ink the edges of this to get rid of some of that white. Because of these little corners, and to be able to ink it is a little difficult, even though I have some of the Tim Holtz mini daubers. You can also just take I could take a Sharpie and just color in some of that white, trim it up a little bit. I'm not going to take time and do that right now, but you can do that. Oh, see, glue problems. Glue this back down. All right, so we're going to bust out the Tombow this time. Add a little liquid glue. I tend to be a little too heavy-handed with the liquid glue, which is why I like the glue sticks better. Do I have more kits? Yes, Tina, I have more kits available. That is not a problem. It is still on my website, and I will drop the link when I'm done. I will drop the link on how you can order it. And I will keep this kit up and available until probably November. Because, it can be Halloween year round as far as I'm concerned. Come on. My bend is going to get weird here. That's okay. Okay, there we go. I got a little bit. There we go. Okay, now we're good. All right. So that is the inside and our outside. And this outside gets closed with a little Velcro closure. So I'll do that on my finished one before we're done. So the pages for this are a combination of these accordion pages and then these little waterfall pages that create a little bit of a signature on the back. So this is what that looks like once we get them all put in. So you've got these accordion pages and then these. So with the kit, you get all of the design elements, which looks like this. So you get the printed out kit that has all the design elements. You get ribbon and embellishments. So for this kit, I had various paper clips and brads. I think I threw some eyelets in there. There's a couple of skeleton keys. And then I think I pulled these out, but I think I dropped a couple of these in with the kits. You get about, for this one, I forget how much, 10 pieces of 8-inch ribbon of various colors. You get in the written instructions, a link to the video tutorial. So it's essentially everything you would need to at least get a start of putting it together. And then there may be other embellishments that you would want to add. I am always on the hunt for new embellishments to include in these kits. And so I'm constantly looking for, things to add. Page 1. Nope, that has the tab. Okay. And those of you who have gotten kits in the past this week, you're going to get a little survey in the email from me because I want your feedback on what you've gotten and anything you think that, would be added considering the price point or that you would like to see added. One of the things that I'm constantly on the hunt for that I'll be honest is a little hard to find to be able to buy in bulk is seasonal embellishments. So seasonal breads. Like I love, oh my God, I just lost I love Eyelet Outlet. For personal crafting, that's fine. From a business perspective, Eyelet Outlet is not the most cost effective. If I want to buy like little witch hat brads and things like that. So I'm kind of on the hunt for places where I might be able to buy stuff like that a little more cost effectively and guarantee that I'm going to be able to get it. In case like I buy enough for 20 kits and then I get 10 more orders, I need to know that I can get more if I need it. Okay, so these accordion pages go like this. Now, with the exception of the first page and the last page, it doesn't really matter. Well, actually, even with the first page, it doesn't really matter what you do. So your first page is going to have the tab on the right. Your last page is going to have no tabs at all, if that makes sense. At regional tennis today, I can't wait to get home and make mine. Yay! Yeah, and if you all have these kits and you put them together, please, I would love to see pictures. You can email them to me. You can post in the group. You can message, send them to me in Facebook Messenger. I would love to see them. So it tells you page numbers, but you can put them in any order you want, as long as the page without the tab is your last page in the stretch of accordion. And we are going to bend and score and fold and do all of that before we start to put this together, because again, that just makes it a little bit easier. So I'm gonna make a little line here and also where the tab is, and then go ahead and bend those. So we're gonna bend here, and then I'm gonna fold this so it kind of folds where you're not going to tuck the page in like this, but I want it to fold in conjunction with where the tab is, and you'll see why when we put these together. There's that one. And we're going to go ahead and do this one. Hold this down. Let's see, what else have I got on here? Okay, we talked about the chalk release, talked about Peanuts Holiday, talked about my giveaways. Oh, yeah. So the other thing that I am going to share Wednesday in my VIP group that I'm going to kind of show everybody is, so I have any decoupage folks watching now? Let me know if you like to decoupage or are curious about decoupage. I am relatively new to decoupage, but I absolutely love it. And so I have recently been approved, like literally just got my first order yesterday as a Roycycled Papers decoupage retailer. So if you are familiar with decoupage but not familiar with Roycycled, I'll drop that link in the group as well when I drop the link to the kits and stuff. I know Royce, the woman who owns the company. She's actually in my business coaching group. She's an amazing woman. She has created her own line of decoupage paper, and she has retailers all across the country. And I just recently got approved as a retailer and got my first order yesterday. And I'm going to be getting all of that stuff listed on my website and doing my little promo projects and things like that. One of the things that's super cool is, oh, Christine, you are going to have to check this out because she has paintable decoupage paper. It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It's tissue weight, so it's a little heavier than a napkin. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. She designed some of the most amazing stuff. Okay, so I was talking as I was doing this. So basically what you do is you take one flat end, one straight end, and glue it down over the tab of the next page, right? So we're going to make this like long accordion thing. And I bent it before we started so that when it comes time to bend it now, it's a little bit easier to do that. And then if you got the kit, I really do love decoupage. I want to do more and learn more because there's all kinds of like if you're decoupaging on a different surface, there's different kinds of medium to use and things to do that like I would have never even thought about. And Royce does all kinds of classes and stuff on decoupage techniques. She designs stencils and things like that too, which is really very cool. So yeah, so I'm super excited about that. Adding supplies to like the things that I offer to my customers is something that I'm really excited about. These paper crafting kits, mystery boxes, Royce's papers, like all of those kinds of things. I'm like really kind of excited about. Oh shoot, I just did that and didn't do this first. So we're going to build out our accordion. So this is 6 pages in total. I think what I'm going to do just for, yeah. No, I think I'm okay. I was going to maybe not do all of the accordion pages, but I think I'll be okay. Because really, we get the accordion pages done and we put the signature in, and then it's really just all about decorating. And I can show you the various kinds of options that you have and how to use the different pockets and folders. So yeah, we'll do this one and then we'll go on. We'll put all of these in. But if you got the kit and you saw on your supply list that I recommended binder clips and you're like, why? It's for this. When you're doing the accordion pages, binder clips kind of help hold the pages in place while the glue is drying because you're kind of moving this whole thing around constantly. And so it's just kind of a nice little way to kind of keep those pages together and let that glue dry. Bend that down kind of carefully. And somehow all of my little binder clips have disappeared. I think they are all upstairs. I have a tub of stuff that I use for when I teach in-person classes. And I have a feeling that my stash of binder clips that I keep at my desk got stuck in my tub of class stuff. So you have 2 more. Oh, you know what? That's not going to work because it won't be long enough. Okay, I need to do these actually. Sorry. The part of the reason there's 6 of these pages is to make sure that it's long enough that it'll fit inside the in the journal cover, right? What did I just do with my, there it is. Too much stuff on my desk, y'all. Not that that's any different today than any other day. Actually, Monday morning I actually posted a picture of what my desk looked like. And then later in the day, I posted a picture of what it looked like after I had like straightened everything up. But over last weekend, I was not kind to my future self as I was finishing up projects. And I just walked away from the desk and was like, nope, I'm done. Nope, can't do it. And left it a hot mess and walked in Monday morning and went, ugh. It was a mess. So I had set a goal for myself. It is so cute. I mean, I love these so much. There's a Life's a Beach one. That was actually the first kit I ever did anything with. I have one of those somewhere that looks like this one. And then there's a Christmas one that looks like this one. But then we've got the ones with the actual book binding. There's another, the October kit. Messy desk is a sign of a creative person. Yes. The October kit for my membership is another 3D folio card, like the Highland Cow ones, but it's a fall truck. So it's exactly like Clarabelle was, and it's got this little 3D elements on the front. And you get all the like pockets and all of that kind of stuff. So that's the October kit. So if you join the membership by October 10th, you get that one. I know what I want to be the November kit, but I'm waiting until I actually have the kit in hand to start promoting that. Same for December. I know what I want to be our December kit, but I'm waiting until I have the kit in hand. We have one Christmas kit done. That's not the one I want to be for the membership, so I'm not doing anything with it yet, just in case. So Serena's son is a senior, and he plays in their band, and she is very involved in their band. She's got a lot going on for the next week or so. So she's working on all of our holiday kits, but we don't have everything ready yet. So I'm holding off on promoting that side of it and making firm decisions about that. Now, going forward, I didn't do it for September because Witch's Brew came out and I was just too in love with it. But going forward, the membership kits will be exclusive. So I will not be putting those on my website. I will not be using those for classes. The only way you can get those is through the membership. So, which is also why I'm waiting, because I don't want to repeat what I did in September, because that was my plan initially anyway. And then Witch's Brew came out and I had a request to do an in-person class for it and all of that. So I'm like, okay, well, I want this to be the membership kit, but I can't. I've already committed to stuff to it and I can't make it exclusive. So, but going forward, they will be. And with the type in all caps so I can see I'm not, that's okay. It's all right. Somebody typing in all caps, I'm all about Christmas. You can yell about that all you want, but no, I totally get it. And I did not interpret it as you yelling at me, just yelling about Christmas excitement. Y'all, it's so funny. I was, so I don't know how many of you shop on Whatnot. And part of me wants to encourage you to do it, and part of me wants to tell you to stay away from it because it's trap. But I shop and sell on Whatnot, which is an online live selling platform. So it's auction based for the most part, not entirely, but people do live auctions. And it started out years ago with shoes, watches, and sports cards, and it has blown up and expanded. So you've got crafters on there, which is what I do. You have vintage decor on there, which is also what I do. And I have sellers that I like and I watch and I follow and all of that. And so I was on this morning and I was watching a seller that I like, JJ Shopper. She buys palettes and then resells them. She's hilarious. I love her shows. And she had to step away. She started her show with a sweatshirt on and she's like, y'all, I'm getting hot. I got to go put a t-shirt on. I'm going to step away for a second. If you have if you're a seller on here and you have upcoming shows, drop them in the chat. So next Friday, I am in a what's called a raid train. So it's a bunch of sellers get together, they run shows, and you take your audience and you go into the next person's show. And so I am in a 90 Days to Christmas raid train. And it's all, everything we're selling are things that can easily just be dropped into a gift bag, put a tag on it, and you're done. And so I put that in there, and somebody commented to me, they're like, okay, we don't need that kind of negativity in the chat. I was like, y'all, I get it. Like, I'm not ready to acknowledge that, you know, we're that close. And let me just tell you that, yeah, it is very fun. It's addictive. There are times that I like have to not go on the platform because I'm like, okay, I just spent a little bit too much money today. But, you know, I tell people all the time, like, I have always been a no Christmas until after Thanksgiving person. Not one Christmas song, not one Christmas decoration, okay, I would buy gifts, but that was it. I mean, like, no, don't talk to me about Christmas until after Thanksgiving, because I don't know, that's just how it was in my house when we grew up. We didn't start Christmas until we would put my grandmother's tree up Thanksgiving night, and then it was on, right? But now, as a small business owner, I mean, I've started on Christmas already. I've got all of my Christmas promotions planned out. I need to get everything scheduled, like all of that stuff. And it is still a struggle for me. I still struggle with that because I'm like, no, no, I just no. But I have to. I mean, I you know, I can't leave it all until the last minute. So it's been a weird transition for me to have to do that. All right, so we're going to clip these last ones. So here's our very long line of accordion pages. Woohoo! So some of these that have been glued for a while, I can take my binder clips off. I'm going to leave the binder clips on that last set for just a second. And then I'm going to fold these all up. I know I'm kind of out of camera range, so you can't completely see me. I'm going to fold these all up. The more I do this, the better I get at my fold being lined up and pretty. Because it's easier to do the next step if it's like that. So again, going back to the one that's already finished, what we're going to do is this first page, which is this one right here, gets glued into the cover, right? So we glue that down. And then what we do is we come over here, and the last part of the accordion pages, which is this page right here, gets glued down inside the back cover. I've been working on Decorate for Christmas the day after Thanksgiving Day. Yep. I've been working on Christmas gifts since February. Always waited till September and had to rush. Yeah, it is nicer when you don't have to rush. I agree. Growing up, we didn't do Christmas until my dad's birthday on December 12th. There's no way my teenagers would allow that now. Oh, I just lost my chat. There we go. Like my fall decorations. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I like my fall decorations too. I'm waiting for it to cool back off a little bit so that I can get outside and do my porch and get my mums, because I haven't gotten any mums yet, because last year I bought them too early and they all died. I bought them during our Midwest fall, which I should have known better. And they died and I had to go buy new ones. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to flip this over just because it makes it easier to glue. So I'm going to glue the back side of this page. All right, so I have about a half an hour left. And I like to put the glue on what I am gluing. Well, in this case, on what I am gluing as opposed to what I'm gluing it to. That way I make sure I have the glue kind of where I need it. Okay, now we're going to flip this back over. And this is a little hard to see, but what you want to do is you want to line this bend up with this bend in your cover, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take this, and my glue is drying, I can feel it. And line that up with my bend, and I kind of bend it while I'm lining this up to make sure it kind of goes where I want it to go. So you're not lining it up exactly with the outer edge. You're lining it up with that inner edge so that it bends the way you want it to. So that glues down there. And then I'm going to fold everything this way, and I can take these binder clips off. And then you're going to do the same thing with this back page. We're going to put the glue on that. Get this good bend in this. Decorate a week before. Now, I will admit that there have been times in years past where like maybe the tree didn't get decorated until like the week before Christmas. It was up, but not completely decorated. Our son's 21 and God love him, he just doesn't really care about the tree anymore. Let's see, this I want it to go. Yeah, so this page is going to line up with the outside bend. So right up against where this curves. Okay, so we're going to put the glue on this. Hold on. At some point, I'm going to have to assess what I have already purchased for Christmas, because I actually have been buying Christmas gifts, particularly on Whatnot, for a couple of months now, but not doing a very good job of like writing down what I bought. They are all in my little tub. I do have a plastic tub in the unfinished part of the basement where I put gifts when I buy them. So I know they're all in there, but at some point I'm going to have to go and write it all down, because then invariably I'll forget what I bought. Okay. All right. So there's this with our accordion pages in there. I think I might have glued that in the wrong spot. I think actually I should have glued that on that inside fold. I don't know. It probably really doesn't matter. It just depends on how you want it to lay. It felt like it wasn't going to be right, but now that I'm looking at it. So actually I don't want to pull this back up. Can I get this back up? Ooh, I can. Hold on a second. Yeah, there we go. Not completely dry. Hee hee. Not completely dry. Yay. Oh, well, a little bit there, but we're going to cover that, so that's not a big deal. Slow and easy. Don't tear all the way through. Come on. Yeah, of course that's going to be dry. All right, we're going to do this again. Replay. All right. A little more glue. I'll go around I might need to go around the edges on this one with some liquid glue. Okay, so this we're going to line up with this crease right here so that it folds right where the back cover folds. And again, trying to bend it a little bit while you glue it. It's a little bit harder on this end than it was on the front. But if you can bend it a little bit while you are at least getting it in position, that helps a little bit. Okay. All right. So that's that. All right. So we're going to let that sit for a minute. And then we are going to, I do start buying Christmas gifts early. It's dangerous for me to buy too far ahead. Yes. Okay. I do. That is my problem, is when I buy too far ahead, I'll overbuy because I'm one of those like, oh, I look for the perfect gift kind of thing. Hi, Cindy. And so, you know, I'll think of something, I'll find something, and then invariably we'll get closer to December and I see something that I'm like, oh, this so-and-so has to have this, even though I have already bought for them. And I mean, potentially some things could be returned, but then I'm like, but I like this too, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, it is kind of a balancing act. Because I do always reach a part in my budget or in my year where Christmas shopping where I'm like, budget? What budget? I don't have a budget for Christmas. There's no such thing. And so it's funny because you would think as your child gets older, that changes, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Because I've got, you know, 2 nieces and a nephew, and I mean, I buy now for my girlfriends because we're older and, you know, I don't have a little one to buy for anymore and all that stuff. All right. So, okay, I'm doing good. Let's see. Let me give me a 15-minute warning. Okay, maybe I'm not doing as good as I thought. What time is it? It's okay. All right. So we're going to get these signature pages in. Now, you can do these however you want, but I'm going to show you how I do it, and I'm going to show you why. So, I glue the tabs on top of each other. And then fold that last tab down and glue it. Well, actually, I do it the other way, but like this, because then these pages will open all the way. If you glue the each tab down on the page and then glue it down on the top of the next page, they won't open all the way, if that makes sense. So we're going to take, this is the back page, right? We're going to take the tab on this page and glue it down to the page. And you can use double-sided tape for this too, if you don't want to use glue. I like score tape for that. I think if you're going to do something like this and use double-sided glue, that's probably the strongest. It's not the cheapest, but it's probably going to hold the best for something like this. Get that down. And then we're going to take, this is number 3, and we're going to glue the tab from number 3 down on top of the tab from number 4. And it doesn't matter if you get excess glue on the back of this one, because this one gets glued down into the journal anyway. Well, it doesn't have to. I glue mine down. You don't have to do it that way. I'll show you what your options are there. So then you got this, and your bat is upside down on this one. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be. You could swap out, but then your lock would be upside down to make the tabs work. So we're going to do this. Now on this one, I'm gluing to what I'm gluing to. Again, it's all about making sure the glue goes where you want it to go. So sometimes for me, I put the glue on what I'm gluing down. Sometimes I put the glue on what I'm gluing to. This, I feel like, makes sure that I get the glue where I want it to be if I do it on what I'm gluing to. If that makes any sense at all whatsoever. I don't know if my pinned comment is popping up. I don't see it, and I can usually see it. But I did put together a little downloadable printable Halloween color palette. It's kind of fun. Gives you some different color ideas for what's on trend for Halloween if you're a little over orange and black. So I'll throw that link in with everything else when I'm done. Okay, so this is your little signature. You got these little journaling pages, and this attaches. This can actually go wherever you want. Ideally, it attaches to the back. Now, you can either glue it down on just the tabs so that this last page will lift up, or you can glue the whole last page down. Now, I glue the whole last page down just because I feel like that is not a lot of space to glue for something that is intended to kind of move. And then this isn't going to lift up all the way anyway because it's going to be partially glued down. So I feel like for stabilization and stuff like that, just glue the whole thing. But it is entirely up to you. This. And we're going to glue that in. Push that down. Okay. So now it is the whole thing is assembled. All your pages are in. And then it's all about embellishing and decorating. I forgot the window peaks. Oh, y'all, that's the most fun part. Son of a biscuit eater. Okay. Well, I can't fix that now. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. Let me show you what they are. Let me get out my kit. Okay. I knew I should have just put those right on top or put a Post-it note or something on it yesterday when I cut these out. So they're actually in the back. They're one of the last pages of the kit. You have these, right? So what you do is you cut these out, and then before you put the inside cover on, and this is in the tutorial video, which is actually on YouTube, you take an X-Acto knife, and I messed this one up, but you take an X-Acto knife and you cut on 3 sides the windows, right? And then you just take Scotch tape and tape those little window peaks framed in those windows. And then you put the inside cover on. So that's the exact same thing we did here on the truck with the dogs, right? So before I put the inside cover on, which is the sweater paper right here, I cut this little window open on 3 sides, cut out those little window peaks, taped that down, and then put the inside cover on top of it. So again, this is on YouTube. And if you have the kit, you have a link to it. And I do show how to do this part. I can't believe I forgot that. That's like my absolute favorite part. Yes, this could absolutely be used for an album, Myrna, for sure. Yes, that's how we got those little puppies in the truck. And on mine, I did the ghost reading the book here in the top window, and then this one down here. But you could also cut out this window. Just be careful. And I did not do that ahead of time for folks who bought the kit, because I didn't want to decide for you which windows you wanted to use, if you even wanted to do that at all. Okay, so now we're on to embellishing. So in this kit, you have all kinds of little pockets. So you have some envelopes. You've got all kinds of tags. You've got just kinds of little embellishments. You've got these little flags here. And so I'm going to show you a couple of these just to show you how they work. The other thing I did on mine is I added some little bling pieces to the front cover. I'm probably going to add some more before it's over, and I might add some up here on the little peaks there. So that's something else that you can do. All right, so let's see. What do I want to show you? I want to show you these pockets, and I want to show you one of the envelopes. Well, actually, I want to show you both envelopes. And then we've got these little folders. The other thing, so if you got the kit, you got some skeleton keys. So you have one of these little tags that looks like a room key. So on our, well, my skeleton key fell off. So I got that idea from this kit, which is the Moody Manor. This is a loaded tag. I need to put different ribbon on it. The skeleton key keeps falling off because this ribbon is too small. But I took a little skeleton key and I attached it to this little tag with the room key on it. So you have a skeleton key in your kit. You actually, I think you should have 2 skeleton keys in your kit. And that's what you can do with that. So let's see. Let's do the envelopes first. So you have 2 different kinds of envelopes. You have this one and you have this one. They work kind of the same. This gray square in the middle is actually where you glue the envelope into the journal. Obviously, you could use these outside of the journal just as little envelopes. This one gets closed with a Velcro tab. That's what I included in the kit. But you can close it with a brad. You can put a little button on it. Kind of do whatever you want. So you're just going to fold in. So this is the bottom. This is the top. So you're going to fold the bottom in first. And then you're going to fold your sides in. And then this one you're going to actually glue or tape. I have had to start using score tape on pockets and folders because I get a little too heavy-handed with the glue. And then I end up creating a situation where I can't get anything into the pocket or folder because I've used too much glue. So what you'll do here is, where is my Okay, I have 15 minutes. All right. So I have my skinny score tape. Do I have scissors? Yes. Oh, I have these right there. So I'm going to take my, yeah, that was a little bit too much. Skinny score tape. Well, that was too much too. Put this on here. And like I said, I like score tape. There's, I need to look at, Serena has found some that she likes that's a little bit cheaper. So I need to look at that and probably add that link. The link on my website for my product recommendations is for the score tape. And so you just fold that down. And then this is going to fold down like that. So you have the little envelope, and you don't even have to close it if you don't want to. And then you've got a couple of different kinds of cards. Where are the folding ones? Well, those fit in there. You have, I think there's like 4 of these in the kit. Yeah, the windows are awesome. You have like 4 of these in the kit that you can tuck down inside this little envelope. And you can put pictures on them. You can write notes on them. Obviously, you could gift this. So somebody has a Halloween birthday, right? And you could stick a little gift card down in there. If you want to use the Velcro dots to close this, actually, I'm going to show you on the album itself. I'm going to show you a little trick for closing this to help with placement. So if you got the kit, you've got 2 or 3 sets of these Velcro dots. One is designed to close the album itself. So what I recommend is that you actually put the Velcro dots together and then adhere it to one side or the other of the album, whichever one you want. I'm going to adhere it to the front cover. I want that to be right there. I'm going to put it down there. And then we're going to take this off and then do that. That way you don't have to worry about lining up the closure correctly, because it's just going to line up the way you want it. So if you're going to do that, that's my recommendation for how to get that on there. Okay. All right. Okay. 10 minutes. All right. So that's one of the envelopes. And again, these will go anywhere. You can put them on any page that you want. I'm going to take this and stick this down on this page. Some of these pockets are intended to kind of work as layers if you want them to work that way. Stick that down in there. This envelope works the same way, except it's designed for a tie closure. And I apologize, because those of you who got the kit, I did not send you ribbon skinny enough to be able to use this. That did not make my supply list. Can also use twine for this. But these sides have these 2 little holes. And so what you'll do is, again, just score this to fold. And this one you won't glue closed. unless you wanted, I don't even know how you would glue these two sides in without not being able to then open it. So you fold the sides without the holes in, and then you fold your sides with the holes in, and then you would run your skinny ribbon or twine or whatever you want through there, and that makes that little pocket. But what you've got is you've got these little cards like this, little square cards that'll fit in there. You also have several of these that just fold in half, and those will also fit in there. They'll fit in that bigger envelope too. So again, you could put photos in there, you could put little notes in there, you could put little memorabilia in there. There was somebody actually in a Whatnot show I was in the other day. Her birthday is on Halloween, and so as a kid she always had birthday parties for Halloween, and she continues to do that as an adult. So like something like this would be like a cute little party favor. So you've got some folders that and pockets that are just flat like this. So you're just going to put, again, this is where I would use my skinny score tape. You're just going to put your score tape or a very thin line of glue. I would use liquid glue for this actually, on these three edges, and then put them down in the album wherever you want. These have tabs to kind of hold them in place. So glue the tabs down to the card first, right? And those are just for stabilization. So we're going to do that. A little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there. And then you would put your score tape on that, or your glue. I'm just going to use glue because I have it right in front of me. And put this in your album. So then you've got that little pocket there that you could stick things in. And then the brads and the embellishments, which I didn't even touch here, and the paper clips, like that's all just to add a little something to this, right? So you can take that little gold paper clip like that. And then I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to take one of these apothecary jars. So you've got little apothecary jars, and I'm just going to stick one of the little apothecary jars like that, right? And you're not even gluing it down or anything like that. You're just adding to it. You can do the brads on the folders before you glue them down. I think I put some eyelets in there. If you don't have an eyelet setter, I apologize. I made kind of a bit of an assumption there. And then you have all kinds of little tags. I like doing layered tags with these. So you have, let's see, what have we got here? We've got these little postage stamps. Where's one of my other bigger tags? Where's my other bigger tag? Here we go. Got this postage stamp. And so you can take and put a hole through the postage stamp and tie a ribbon through it, and you've got a little layered tag there. You've also got somewhere a little bat, like this one, or you could take one of these little tags and layer it on top of that. Yes, that is one of the things that, Serena really goes for, Kay, is to give people all kinds of creative freedom. Once you get the base put together, what you do with it from there is entirely up to you. And then one of the other things that I do, that I wanted to show you all that you have options for, is add to it with either stencils. So like I have these I can't say this, y'all, essential stencil. These little 1-inch Halloween words. And then I pulled out some of my smaller Chalk Couture transfers. So like this little spider, I use this little spider. I think I have put this little guy on almost every Halloween project I've ever done since I bought the transfer. Let's see. I think I'm going to do him in Shimmer Shadow. Now, typically on, that's not open. Typically on paper, I am going to tell you that you need to use our surface wax and fuzz this transfer really well. The only reason I am not doing that right now is because I honestly don't know how I'm still getting anything out of this transfer. I have used it so many times. I'm grateful because this is from a retired transfer set. So once I can't get a spider out of this anymore, it's done for. But this is not going to stick to this paper. The design's going to come through, but the transfer is not going to stick. It's not going to pull any of that paper up. So I'm not worried about it. If it was a newer one, I would definitely not be doing this without waxing this paper first and fuzzing the transfer. And I actually thought I lost this guy the other day, and I was so upset. So there, you know, I just added that little spider on top of the pumpkin. So that's the other thing I really like about these is you have your pattern papers and you have all of that, but so many of the pattern papers are like neutral colors. So you can add stencils to it. You can add these kinds of embellishments to it. And you all know I like to add my Chalk Couture elements to almost anything. And so I like being able to do that with this. Okay, I have 3 minutes left. First of all, thank you all so much for being here today, for commenting. I'm glad you all liked this one. I think it's super cute. So I've got some links I'm going to drop for you in the chat or in the comments. I've got giveaways coming, so I'm giving away a kit. I'm giving away a set of Halloween bookmarks and a mystery box. Why is there something that I wanted to tell you all about that is not on my list that went into my brain? I don't remember. Okay, well, I didn't write it down. Shoot. Well, that's all right. I appreciate you all. So stick around. Craft Fancy is going to be up. I have a couple of minutes left, so I'm going to go through this list again. Maybe what was going to come back to me. What I was going to say is going to come back to me. So Craft Fancy's next. I'm doing a live unboxing from the Chalk Holiday release, as well as my Roycycled papers in my VIP group on Wednesday. So I'm going to drop a link for that. Peanuts Holiday release is the 23rd. So I will be in my VIP group dropping some sneak peeks of that. Thank you so much, Christine. The October kit for my Creative Collective membership is this little truck. Talked about my giveaways, talked about the survey that's coming out for the folks that have gotten the kits. I do still have kits available. And yeah. Shoot. Okay, that bugs me because I feel like what I wanted to tell you all was really important. But if it was important, I would have written it down. And again, I owe you all some written instructions, so I will get all of those emailed out. If you have any questions, let me know. You all know where to find me. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. Our October talk, our project for next month. I had a request a couple of months ago to do an ink project, to do a Chalk Couture ink project. And so we are going to make a tea towel using a pattern called Ho Ho Ho. It's a repeating Ho 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 pattern. So I have everything ordered. I will put some pictures in when it's time. But that's going to be a Chalk Couture ink project. So we're going to make a little tea towel. That's what I wanted to tell you all that I did not write down. And I think I got red, green, and shimmer gold ink. to go along with the kit for next month. So yeah, so I'm excited about that one. And then I think for November, we're going to be coming back to some paper crafting, because again, we've got some exciting stuff, including cards coming with the paper craft socials stuff. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I will talk to y'all later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.